Hi everyone. I think I've actually missed an evening of doing this, so apologies if I have. But we can now pick up the story of Al, who has actually just gotten on Grandpa Byron's moped and is setting off through misty air tinged with yellow streetlights. Okay, chapter 15. Inside the motorbike helmet, the noise of the engine is muffled and the wind whooshes out. I can hear myself breathing rapidly as the needle on the speedometer creeps past 20 miles per hour, then 25, before I have to slow down for a roundabout. There's a car coming from the right. Give way to traffic from the right, I say out loud to myself, and I stop and watch the car go past. The driver doesn't even look at me. Off we go again over the roundabout, down towards the coastal road. I find the indicator under my thumb and signal right. Even at midnight, the coastal road is busy. I'm just looking straight ahead, and every time a car overtakes me, I tense up. So by the time the buildings thin out and I pass the elf garage, I'm aching all over, and I can feel drops of sweat running down my back, despite the cool wind. A couple of miles later and the orange road lights finish and there's no more traffic. It's just me and the moped. Its headlight gives off a pool of white light ahead of me, and anything else I can see is just what the moon lights up. It's funny, I've been in the car loads of times at night, but only as a passenger, when you can look all around. But you can't really do that when you're driving. You have to look ahead pretty much all of the time, especially when the twin headlights of another car are coming towards you, then zooming past, dazzling you a bit until your eyes readjust again. On my left is the sea, and it glints a little silver from the moon, and then the road goes between some hills, so the sea can't be seen anymore. But then the hills end, or the road bends round, and there's the sea again. And I like that. It feels comforting somehow. Black and silver. At one point, the road goes quite near the beach, but much higher, and I can see the white line of the foam where the sea hits the sand. I can't hear it, but I can smell it, the salty, seaweedy smell of the beach. I love that smell. I want to know what time it is, but I don't take my hand off the handlebar to look at my watch. It feels like ages, and my bottom is aching now as well, and the speedometer needle has been just above 30 for miles. When all of a sudden I see the big white dome of Whitley Bay's Spanish City, which Dad said used to be a dance hall, and then an amusement arcade, and now I don't know what it is. Calvercott is after Whitley Bay, but they both kind of merge into one another. 10 minutes later, I'm driving into Calvercott, and the feeling I get is very strange indeed. I think it's happiness and relief and scaredness, and also a bit of sadness, seeing all the places I used to know, like the cafe where I had my 6th birthday, and I even drive past Oscar Rudd's house, who was my very best friend in primary school until he moved to Sweden in year 4. He promised he'd email loads. He never did. And then I'm on my old street, Chesterton Road, and ahead of me is my old house number, 40. I stop the moped a little down the street and turn the engine off and let the roaring in my ears settle down and the feeling return to my arms and wrists. Now all I've got to do is break into the house, and I've already told you about that. Less than 5 minutes later, I'm staring at my dad's time machine, a zinc garden tub, and a laptop in the cellar fallout shelter, and thinking, surely that's not it. Like I said, I was expecting something a bit more, well, technical. A bit more, no, actually a lot more. And now I'm standing here holding the second letter that, as you know, was taped under the desk in the nuclear fallout shelter, and the only light is coming from my torch beam. and for probably a whole minute I'm too terrified to move. I had kept myself calm until now to do all the stuff required to get here. I think I'd even prepared myself for testing a time machine, but now that there isn't one, or at any rate anything that looks like one, the massive risk of what I've just done begins to overwhelm me. I suddenly feel very aware of the silence and the darkness, and I can hear myself breathing short, raspy gulps of air. And at one point, I even imagine I can hear my heart beating in my chest. There's only one thought in my mind. I want to go home. Well, that was chapter 14, and I will catch up with you next time. Have a lovely evening, Maple. Bye for now. Bye.